Published 0544 Est, 16 November 2017. Updated 0707 Est, 16 November 2017. Rolf Harris has had one of his 12 convictions for indecent assault overturned on appeal. Disgraced entertainer Rolf Harris has had a conviction for indecent assault overturned by the Court of Appeal. The 87-year-old was cleared of groping an 8-year-old autograph hunter in the late 1960s. It came after his lawyers presented fresh evidence about an alleged attack at a community centre in Portsmouth. Appeal Judge Lord Justice Tracy said that a key witness in the trial, a man that had lived in the area of the community centre Harris was said to have visited, gave a statement that was a fantasy. David James had told the jury he had been on leave from a tour of duty in Korea, notwithstanding the ending of the war there being a decade and a half prior to 1969. Mr. James had said he remembered getting autographs for his young children when Harris visited the Lee Park Community Centre, which made up the bulk of the Crown's evidence that Harris had been there. Lord Justice Tracy said the information now available about his military service and employment history tends to suggest that his account of recent service in Korea was a fantasy. For some reason, at the time of trial the necessary checks had not been made or had not properly been made, as the subsequent investigation by D.C. Atkin showed. In our judgment, this was a significant failing. If the material had been obtained and disclosed at the correct time, it is very doubtful that Mr. James would have been called as a witness. If he had been called to give evidence, his credibility would have suffered devastating damage. The overturned conviction dated back to 1969 in an event Harris was said to have attended. The judge added he was the only person, apart from the victim, to confirm a visit by Rolf Harris to the centre at the relevant time. Despite having one conviction overturned, Harris failed in his bid to challenge 11 other indecent assault convictions. The judges ruled that stepping back and looking at the totality of the evidence on those remaining counts, we find nothing that causes us to doubt the safety of those convictions. Harris was convicted of 12 indecent assaults at London's Southwark Crown Court in June 2014, 1 on an 8-year-old autograph hunter, 2 on girls in their early teens, and a catalogue of abuse against his daughter's friend over 16 years. He was jailed for 5 years and 9 months, but released from HMP Stafford in May after serving less than half the sentence. Harris had hired private investigators to track down key witnesses, including police officers, as part of his appeal. Harris, who was freed from jail in May, was not in court today but attended an earlier hearing. Harris was not in court for the ruling by the appeal judges today. At Harris' appeal hearing, his QC, Stephen Vullo, had called retired Detective Superintendent Graham Piper and retired Detective Constable Peter Spencer, who worked at the police station 50 yards from the centre in Portsmouth. Both repeated their testimonies they gave at trial that they were not aware of Harris ever attending the community centre. They said they would have known if he had so done because of the celebrity's draw. But under further cross-examination from prosecutor Jonathan Rees QC, they both admitted that Harris could have attended the centre between 1968 and 1969 without their knowledge. The prosecution did not seek a retrial on the one count, and the judges agreed that a further trial would not be in the public interest.